if Dave was maybe he walked into a mushroom ring and fell into the fairy realm and that's one thing I've always heard. Like if you do end up in the fairy realm, you do not give like names and you do not accept a gift because now you are beholden.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know?
we don't know what happened to Dave.
Yeah.
Fairy ring
Absolutely.
it could be. Huh.
Maybe he got led over like, "I'm a ghost or demon," and really it was a fairy, and then they gave him a cup of coffee or tea. And it's funny because I'm like, I finally remembered to wear my demon shirt with him. He's not
And
here.
I wore a skull.
Aw, I like that one. So
Oh my.
so we're kind of unprepared until Dave gets here, so if anybody has questions or maybe concerns, otherwise it might be a short one because we are unprepared with a backup topic, and now I feel like we need to start a Google Doc with backup topics.
That's a good idea. We can
Yeah,
get to work on that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we're hopeful that Dave will join us, and we're hopeful that everything is okay. We both reached out to him and left a message, and if everything's okay, hopefully he will join us. Otherwise, we're probably only going to do a half hour, right, Melissa? About 30
yeah,
minutes. Yeah. Okay.
because we're unprepared and nothing to ramble on about. So if you guys have questions or maybe a story that you might want to share.
I got a story.
Oh,
I just thought of
wow.
something.
Yes.
I'll put my OSR hat on, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So, well, for two things. First, I wanted to say that for all that know Greg Nicholas, he actually had a gallery read at OSR on Monday, and it turned out so very nice. We did it in the warden's dining room, and we had, the lights down and they had flickering candles, battery operated candles, because we're not allowed to burn candles in there. Battery operated candles and everything. And some of the information that he pulled was amazing. It gave me goosebumps. So it was really nice having Greg there. That it was put on by Goddess Elite. So thank you, Melissa, for bringing him to OSR, because I think this could be a good start to some new things coming.
Mhm.
um, maybe a few other gallery reads as well. The other thing is tonight, I am going to be going out and walking the premiere tour of a new program that we are rolling out in the paranormal. It's called Life Sentences Where Death Left a Mark. And yeah, doesn't that sound cool? It's right up
I
your
mean,
alley,
it's
Melissa.
my paranormal and the true crime.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I'm really excited about this because, one of the things about OSR is, yes, we do have a lot of history and everything. And when people come in, they ask all the time, how many people died here? How did they die? Did the guards beat the inmates? Whatever the questions may be, it always somehow worked into death and the darker side of the reformatory. Well, we have a staff member who is also a volunteer. He's like slash staff slash volunteer. He started volunteering at OSR 14 years ago. And for the past 8 or 9 years, he's like a researcher, historian. He can't help himself. He dives into this stuff and he's real good at it. Um, about 8 or 9 years ago, he started working on answering that question because he's always asked, and he pulled a binder, and I mean a binder full of information on the different deaths that took place in the reformatory. Um, Now, a lot of it isn't, it's not just like doing a Google search and you get information. He did legwork. He went to libraries, he went to the courthouses. He actually had attorneys working and helping him to get the documents, and went to archives. I mean, he put a lot of time and effort into this, and he has some fantastic information regarding uh, life sentences. So tonight is the first rollout, premiere rollout for that, prior to introducing it in 2027. And basically, and I'm going to be going out there so that I can walk the tour with them. It's not just a sit down, let's sit in the classroom and we're going to watch slides and listen to them talk. It's going from location to location to location to where these deaths occurred or where there may be history related to it. But like, let's just say, for example, I'm just throwing this out here. I'm not saying this is what he's going to do, but let's just say, for example, he goes to solitary and he knows of a death that took place there. He's not going to just walk in and tell you the death, just be like blah. He's going to tell you a little bit of history too, a little bit of history of who this person was, why, why he was at the reformatory and the things that led up to his death. So it's like it's a topic that intrigues me. I know it intrigues you too, Melissa. We both like true crime type stuff, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the paranormal program out there. So tonight, if you all are it's short notice. I know you won't be able to make it tonight, but watch for on the OSR Facebook, on OSR's website for life sentences that will begin in 2027. Now, one of the things I'm hoping to do too is to take this program and make it available on a Friday night so that after you go through this tour, you could also, buy a ticket for a mini ghost hunt
Ooh, now
immediately following.
did Greg pick up something about one of these deaths at his gallery? You started with the gallery.
Yeah, I just wanted to that that was
Oh,
my
okay.
ADHD. But you know what? Greg did pick up something that I found really interesting, and it is part of the tour tonight.
Oh,
One of the things that Tom is the person that did all the research. Tom Lane. He starts out with talking about the wardens that were there because we have a whole two walls of the wardens that were there, and one of the wardens, it's MJ Koloski. That's all it says. And Greg picked up in the warden's dining room, which was around the corner, and if you've been in OSR, it's a zigzag all the way over. He kept saying there's a woman named Marion, Marion, that was here, but she was really strong. He kept going on, and anybody know Marion, and then somebody said, well, Marion's a man's name too. And he's
mhm.
like, well, that could explain why this presence is so, like masculine type. But we couldn't figure it out until the very end of the night. And I was walking by the portraits and I
Mhm.
saw the MJ and I thought, I wonder. So I Googled it and his name's Marion.
Ha,
Hmm.
ha.
So, yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Hi,
We
Chris.
have a derailment. We hope Dave's okay. We haven't heard or seen from him, so we're just kind of killing some time, maybe a little bit. We could always ask Chris to come back on. It's been a minute since we have Chris with her animal communication
Oh,
and that
yeah.
stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, but so Greg was able to pick up about a warden this past Sunday at a gallery.
Hmm.
That's really cool.
Hmm.
Um, huh. Did the warden have like a message up for any of the volunteers or anything? Like, I like the work you're doing, or stop doing that, or anything?
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. No message. We were just trying to figure out who he was throughout
Hmm.
the whole thing because the name kept coming back. So we were in the warden's dining room. So there's a good possibility he may have just been stopping in and been like, what are y'all doing in here? This is my dining room.
Right, right. I'm like, what? This is after hours. There's no food being served. What are these shenanigans? That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, we do have some good things coming at OSR, and we're working together, Goddess Elite and
Yeah,
OSR to bring some more things.
yeah. It was. It was interesting. I had some other stuff going on that I couldn't get down there for it. And I trust Greg. I give him the list and I give him all the things, and I'm like, go handle it. I love
Mhm.
that about Greg when it comes to doing events. I can send him to go do the things and
Right.
do other things over here. So, well, have a safe trip, Amy. Hopefully, you enjoy Colorado vacation. Hopefully, a fun trip. Hopefully,
Mhm.
um, just like Chris said, that's really cool. I would love to come back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will shoot you a message when we're done. Let you know what Wednesdays we have open. I think we have like the next what 2 or 3 next week. Um, Next week's going to be fun. That is Michael Matrone and Gregory Nicholas, speaking of Gregory, and
Mhm.
it's going to be a conversation of possession versus mediumship.
That'll be a
Because
good topic. Yeah.
I want to stir the pot, mute myself, eat my popcorn, and watch those two kind of discuss and maybe debate. Um, fun fact, Michael, his mediumship is possession. And, he had brought up the conversation. He's like, how many mediums don't realize that maybe their mediumship is a form of possession? And the difference between the two and the debate. On the other hand, I know Gregory Nicholas is very much like, we do not do possession here. So, so that will be a fun conversation, and I'm hoping to stir the pot a little bit
Mhm.
to see
Little
how
bit
that.
of pot stirring is always good. Get that cauldron moving.
Yes. So Chris, if you're able to tune in and watch tomorrow, have some questions because as a medium yourself, like, because it'd be interesting to have other mediums kind of chime in comments and have questions for them. But because of the way that Michael does his mediumship, like that's not something that I can stick on his selling board. Like, hey, if you need a reading, Michael's doing mediumship today. He's like, no, mine's a little more involved and takes a little more prep work. And he's like, and that is not a 15-minute reading. And I'm like, fair point. So there you go, trance. And I know you have classes on that type of stuff, ma'am. So I am waiting for you to like offer that out my way. Um, and what's funny is when we do the shaman apprenticeship, there's a whole weekend on that. And it's funny when you call it possession or trance, people freak out. But if you just, and I forget the term, I'd have to look at my notes. They're okay with that. And I'm like, we just changed the word. Now you're comfortable. That's funny. Um, um, right. Letting only of the highest vibration.
Okay.
And so that'll be a good talking point question for Michael next week. So next week is Gregory Nicholas, Michael Matrone. I
Mhm.
should ask him, is it Matrone or Matrone? Like it feels Italian. Am I saying it correct? So I will have to ask him that. Actually,
Mhm.
today he'll be in store today. Be like, by the way, how is the proper way to say your last name? Because I probably said it wrong about 5 times.
Matrone.
Yeah, it sounds Italian.
Yeah. Matrone.
Right.
You gotta get the fingers.
Yeah. And like, what hand position do we do when we say your name if it is Matrone? Um, but short stream today because we have to go find Dave and make sure he's okay. Because I was excited for today's topic because I do side interest of mine is a lot of possession, mediumship, high magic, Solomon seals and emblems and all that fun stuff. So I was psyched. And then Dave's like, find me.
Good.
So
Yeah.
this topic may be in a few weeks when we make sure he's okay. I really hope he's just overslept because he is a night owl.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so we figured we come on, we ramble a little bit, kill it about 10:30, unless you guys have some really interesting stories you want to share or questions that we can answer. Otherwise, there's no point in boring you with rambling.
Yeah, and talking about, the next shows that are coming up and everything, we have that, but we also have, Tim Shaw, who is going to be joining us, probably the beginning of September. We're
Mhm.
working on a date, but Tim Shaw will be coming in and he'll be talking about the woo woo because he's got a lot of woo. So so
Yeah, what exactly is Tim's specialty?
Tim is well, he's a psychic medium. He is also a reverend. He was brought up in Lilydale, like he was raised in Lilydale.
Oh, wow.
But I don't want to share something that I don't know he's comfortable with me sharing. So I'm not going to say the other pieces I know. Um,
Mhm.
y'all just have to tune in.
Okay.
But yeah, we got Tim, and then we're going to have Carlo, who is the owner of the Beale Manor. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's gonna be next month as well. So we have a couple of really good people coming up
And
that'll
I
be on the
want
show.
we have, we are also working on Heather. She owns a haunted place out in New York. It's a haunted
Mhm.
mansion, so we're waiting on some confirmation of dates in. But but there's a couple other people. You guys may see at some point an episode or two where we have to record it outside of this time because of their work schedule, and then we run it and air it, but we can still be live and answer questions as it's going.
Mhm.
Like Bill, how do you say his last name, Kathy? Krechek or no?
Preachy. Preachy.
Krejci.
Mhm.
He would love to be on, but he works from like 9 to 6.
Mhm.
So, and he is probably like the leading guy of haunted Cleveland history.
Mhm.
And he has some books out. I've got a few in the store, of course, like the majority of them came yesterday, and his signing event was Friday. But um, so we may have to record with him at a different time and then just air it and then answer questions and stuff because, adulting and responsibilities and the timing can be problematic.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna find that we're gonna do that a little bit more frequently. Not that often, but we're still going to do it because there are some great guests that we would love to have on, but they can't commit because of the timing. So I think we'd rather bring somebody on that's recorded so you can hear, everything that they have to say on the great topics that they talk about. So you might see a few here and there on that,
Mhm.
but I think it'll be worth it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
Please bring Marianne. So Marianne has had a lot going on. I just spoke with her on Monday. We usually speak at least once a week, and she's got a lot. So keep her in positive thoughts and prayers. Nothing horrible, nothing bad. Just she's got a lot going on. And this is one of the few conversations where I heard her use an expletive a couple times, and of course, I immediately giggled because it's Marianne, and normally she's got her professional on, but on those private phone calls, we get the
yeah.
non-performance in front of, customers, and I was like, "Oh, damn." I'm like, "Okay." So, Marianne's got a lot on her plate right now. But she is planning on being with us at the next Wine and Spirits, and Ted is all excited about Dave Ricksecker being there with us. So, because the first words out of her mouth when she answered wasn't hello. She's like, "Who's this alien guy that's going to be at Wine and Spirits? Ted won't stop talking about him." So, but she's doing well. Just she's got a lot on her plate right now. But yeah, I was trying to like look back at our chat, Kathy, of who we've got potentially lined up. So we've got Carla with Buell Manor. We're working on Heather with the Haunted Mansion out in New York. We got Michael and Greg next week, and I'm like, where's that chat that I put in of like, um,
Mhm.
let's see.
And then, oh, there was, somebody that, Kirby set up. Who was that?
Joe,
Um,
August 2020.
Joe, yes, we have Joe. We're looking at bringing uh, Vic, I'm not gonna even gonna try to pronounce his last name, that runs the blood prison at the Ohio State Reformatory. We'll bring him in so he can talk a little bit about, the commercial haunted house that takes place there, so you guys have a good idea of the different types of tickets that they offer and everything. And then, of course, we're going to have vendors out there like Goddess Elite
Mhm.
that will be vending for Blood Prison as well. Um, who else? Because I said Vic, and there was somebody else. Had to
Uh,
do with the Halloween season.
yeah, you know what, Melanie? Maybe you can find a way to contact an old friend of mine, Shannon Scott from Savannah, to come on here. If you have her contact
Mhm.
info, email it over info@Goddess Elite, and I can reach out, see what's going on. If she'd be willing and what kind of stories she might have, or if she owns a haunted place, we could talk with her about that, help promote her place as well. I'm hoping Vic, when we can get him on, I've heard some of the actors have had spooky things, weird things happen, either while
Mhm.
performing or while they're putting on makeup, and I would love to get a couple of the actors too at some point. Um, there's one actor, she's maybe about 5'5". She dresses up like a little girl, and she's always dragging a doll, and her head's always cocked, and she's like drooling. And what's funny is I've seen her every time I've been out there, and she'll be like slumping by, and she'll look at me, and she'll be like, and then keep going. For some reason I feel like she has maybe had something, because I just kind of look at her and I'm like, hmm,
Mhm.
mm-hmm. But I could never run into her at the beginning of the night, before, when she's getting out of her car, and because I would look for her and be like, even if I have to walk and talk, while she's walking into the building, like, I have a question, ma'am, I could never catch her. And then I don't want to ruin her character in front of lines of people, you know.
Mhm.
Um, but I really do think that there's some of those actors that might be willing. I just haven't been able to catch them.
Yeah, some of them have had experiences, and you know what? I planned on sitting down with Vic and talking to him about coming on the show.
Okay.
I can pick his brain a little bit about some of the, characters and if they've had experiences that they've shared with him, and see if we can get them on the show, get Greg's or not Greg's, Vic's, approval to do that, and maybe get a couple of them on the show to, be on with Vic and talk about some of those things. Vic's had a few experiences himself too, though.
Okay. I was gonna say,
Mhm.
even if they had to come on, like, in character, just talking normally,
That
but be
would be
dressed up
fun.
as that character, which I know some of them is a lot of work, especially, like, the
Yes, it
Warden's
is.
Widow, the
Mhm.
makeup and the prosthetics and everything. She's got way more patience than I ever would. I would maybe do a character once and been like, "Well, I've been here, done that, I'm not doing that again." That was half a day of putting on
Are you
makeup.
sure she's an actor?
Um, yeah, there's a lot of cool. I love Blood Prison because I get to not only be there and make money, but they have actors that stay outside. That is their whole working area, and they mess with everybody in line. So I get entertained at the same time, and I love every bit of it. Um, there's a couple others. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's a he, not a she. I'm sorry. I assumed Shannon was a she. I'll run Sixth Sense tour. I will make a note of that. And would if I reach out and drop your name, would that be a good thing, Melanie? Um, Woo, have you had haunted things happen in your library out there in Maryland? Because I feel like libraries almost always have something, or is it just my wishful thinking? um, I would love to retire and run a haunted library or a haunted bookstore and be like, well, that's just a Tuesday. um, okay, I will reach out and see if you might be willing. But yeah, today, shorter stream. We have to make sure Dave's okay and that he just overslept, but we will definitely revisit this topic when we can get him in, because I was just excited about
Mhm.
what to do, not what not to do. And I know Mary Ann's even talked about it. She's like, unless you are a priest, don't be going around flinging holy water around saying things that a priest would say. Um, ooh, okay. If you're allowed to talk about it, because I think you're in a, I think all libraries are governmental to a certain point, but I think you work in one of the more the federal ones, if I remember. Like, if you're able to talk about it and wouldn't mind coming on, we would love to have you, ma'am. So we've got some others lined up coming up for our new people coming in next week. We are going to have a regular medium, if you can call it that, and then a medium whose mediumship is possession trance. And they're going to talk, maybe debate, have questions, guys. I want to stir the pot, mute myself, eat my popcorn. Um,
Mhm.
um, but yeah, if anybody has stories, might be interested in coming on, please email info@goddessily. Let me know. We can line that out, get that scheduled. And woo, if you can't do like a 10 a.m. on a Wednesday, we were talking a little earlier that some of our guests we may have to pre-record and then show it during our normal time. But like Kathy and I can be live, answer questions. We could pause it and then, answer the questions on that. But some people with their work schedules, like they just can't join us at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. But
Mhm.
they want to come on, they want to share their stories. They just can't do it because adulting.
Mm.
Um, oh, okay, cool. Yes. Yes, yes. Please do. I appreciate it. I think I like
Mm.
personal stories more than the boring
Me
history
too.
of like this has been going on for 70 years. I'm like, no, I want to hear what's really happened. And that's one thing
Mhm.
about Mansfield Prison. There's always something new going on in there. And it's,
Always. Well, something happened the night of the gallery read, Greg's gallery read. I forgot about that. Um, right on the other side of the wall of the warden's dining room where we were having the gallery read is my office. And in my office, I do have a tray of walkie-talkies that we use during the programs. We're sitting there, and Greg's doing his thing, and it got quiet. And then all of a sudden, we heard like a walkie, and it kept going. But in that sound was a woman's voice, and she
oh,
was talking. I could not make out what she was saying because it was like, you know, type of a thing over the walkie. And
Mumbler.
a couple of the other people turned and looked and was like, "Where'd that come from?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I got to go check." So I got up and I went over in my office, checked out the walkies. All the walkies were off. And even if one of them was on, who would have been calling over it? It was the weirdest thing. So I don't have a logical answer for that. Is it paranormal? Could be, but I don't have a paranormal. I mean, a logical reason for that happening or where it came from. It's just odd.
And there weren't any other employees in the building.
Nope.
It
We
wasn't set.
are the executive director was there, but he was upstairs in his office the whole night and never came out.
Hmm, interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah. Huh. I'll have to make sure I'm down there for the next one. There was just too much
Absolutely.
going on. And I'm like, I
Absolutely.
can't be in three places at once, damn it. I haven't learned to clone myself or biolocate. Because if I could
Mm-hmm.
talk about saving money on gas, um, especially in a big ass truck. Um, yeah, definitely. And too bad, you weren't able to understand what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I wonder, was it somebody who came to the gallery, was that like one of their loved ones trying to talk, or is that somebody else in the prison like, hey, while you're here, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
you know
Or
um
it could have been residual. Somebody talking on a walkie-talkie while they were working.
right.
Because that was the administrative area. That's where the offices were, so and they did have females working there, because it's the administrative area. Back in that day they had, a lot of women working and as I hate this word, secretaries, um, that would have needed to use a walkie to get a hold of people. So it could have been that too. Who knows? Who knows?
It's just checking again to make sure if Dave has nothing yet. I hope
No,
the
I checked mine too. Um,
um,
I have his wife's phone number. I'm going to try calling her when we're done.
okay. Make sure everything's on the up and up. He's okay. He just overslept.
Hmm.
Um, because he is a night owl.
Yes, he
Imagine
is.
that, a demonologist being a night owl. Who would have thought? That must be a prerequisite. Um, but with that, guys, we'll go ahead and end a little early. So sorry for the short stream and the change of plans today. Um, we just didn't have a backup topic, so that's something we'll have to work on.
Mhm,
Um, but we didn't want to just not show up and leave you guys hanging. Like I think there was what 2 3 weeks ago that happened. Somebody like had to
mhm.
back out, and then I was just burned out, feeling blah. Kathy was also like, my brain needs a rest, and I'm like, you know what, just they'll understand. But I'm like, we didn't want to leave you hanging
Nope.
again.
No.
So, but join us next week. Come help stir the pot, get that conversation going between possession, mediumship,
Hmm.
and let's see how much popcorn we can eat and just let those two go.
Oh,
So,
who did a thumbs down? How did that happen?
what? There was a thumbs down? I didn't.
It was on your screen. It must have.
Sometimes like emojis pop and I never know how why. And I'm like, I don't push them. And I'm like, if
That
I do
was
this
funny.
enough, will it trigger? Oh,
It was like a right next to your head. And it was like,
oh,
what the heck?
yeah. Maybe I choose to say that if anybody's watched Project Hail Mary, that is an excellent movie. Watch it on Amazon Prime.
Mhm,
And Rocky, he can't in the beginning like get the notion of a thumbs up. It's always thumbs down, and so we'll say it was Rocky visiting.
there we
Uh,
go.
but yay, kittens most welcome for any of our lives. Kittens and puppers and all the others that you might have, hamsters, gerbils, snakes, whatever. But I know a lot of you guys have kittens for some reason who like sitting and watching us, which I think is amazing.
Mhm,
The science behind that, maybe that will be a whole like that's a question for Chris when we have Chris back. Like, why do cats like
mhm.
watching our paranormal live discussions so much? But hopefully you guys can join us next week. Stay safe, and we'll see you
Thank
then.
you for thank you for joining us today.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.